maybe this will be the last time I have to drag this old Merc out on the back of the Tomcat so I can actually get work done on the back of the car. This might be the day it actually starts. So after I finished filming the last episode of Mercedes, a really odd thing happened. I took this off again and put it on again, and then the positive terminal actually sheared off as I was tightening the little nut up, which is very odd because it's only a tiny nut, doesn't have a lot of force in it. I rang up Power Spark who supplied it. They were fantastic, and they supplied a new one next day, no question, no quibble. It sounds like a manufacturing fault, they said. I agreed with them. So I've now got a spare one, the one that I originally had, which I can just about get a contact onto there with like a tiny, like half a turn of a thread. So I can use this one to initially suck crud out of the tank and blast the system through, and then once that's clear, I can then put my nice new one on there. Fantastic. So bad luck becomes good luck. It did slow me down a couple of days, but hey, worth it in the end. Now, in the last video, I think at the end of it, I'd identified this filter which sits down here in the entrance to the fuel distribution block as being utterly blocked. After a night in nail varnish remover, it still barely blow through it at all. This was only £4 or £5. It was from it's Febby Bilstein, so it's a proper quality item. You can blow through it, no problem at all. Under a £5, including postage, you should probably regard this as a service item because it will clog up over time. If a car's been sitting for any length of time, it again will have clogged up. There's a link down below, and there's a link on furiousdriving.co.uk, which is like the site where I can list bits and pieces I've used on my various repairs. So I'm just going to screw that into there. But I'm going to leave it disconnected, just going to see if any fuel comes squirting out of there for the meantime. I didn't put a washer in, did I? Yeah. I'll put that back in a second with a washer on it. No need for comments on that one. So once again, just hooking this thing up through here. Now I've been cranking this for a little while and it sounds different now. Hang on, listen to this. Interesting. Oh, there's petrol there. There's fuel dripping off that, but it's not flowing out. Let's try it at the engine end. I did put 2 gallons of petrol in this car, but it's still sitting below the bottom of the empty mark, so I wonder if it could be something as stupid as it's just got no petrol in it. It's possible, isn't it, I suppose? I just glanced in the back and noticed this. Does not look great. There is some serious water ingress in this car. That's a problem I had not thought of. The puddle CPG thing is just there. Drain hole. The drain hole is just there. The water is just there. I did just find this National Lottery scratch card stuck to the bottom of the carpet, and for a moment I thought maybe this car's going to make me a fortune. This is going to be the £30,000 prize that makes all this work I've done on this car worthwhile. I could even have it to be paid to be professionally restored, but no, it's yuck. So the carpets are all soggy, which means I'm going to have to first of all dry this car out, and second of all find a cover for it, because I can't have it sitting here rusting on the drive, even worse than it already is, while I'm trying to make it start. We've only had a couple of days of rain so far, the winter hasn't even started properly. That's annoying! But I did just find the pedal rubber for the brake in the back seat, well, under the back carpet, so there's one less thing to buy for it. I didn't get this on camera, but I thought I'd better take this frayed bit of fuel pipe down, because I figured that might be why I'm not sucking fuel, might be sucking air rather than petrol. So that is in a particularly poor state. Especially at this end, which is just frayed to hell. And the Jubilee clip thing that was holding it in place, when I undid it, or tried to undo it, it just snapped in half, so that wasn't doing a lot of good either. So rain has stopped play for the time being. I'm going to go and get a gallon of petrol and some fuel line from somewhere. Now, every day is an adventure with this car. There's always something new and exciting, and I was just pushing back the car so I can get to drive sorted out before I go and buy some petrol and fuel line, and I noticed on the floor this big puddle of oil, which is interesting because the engine wasn't actually running. It was cranking over for a long time, but it's done that before. It hasn't done this before. But looking through the engine, trying to work out where it's coming back from, paced back the distance from where it would have been under, and it would have been under the back of the engine, which wasn't running, but there's a puddle of oil down underneath the brake master cylinder. Can't work out where that's coming from until you look up and realise that someone has cut a chunk out of this, what I thought was vacuum line. But if you look at that, that's wet. It was wet, but I just dabbed it with a tissue to sort of see what colour the fluid was, and it was black like oil. And that goes down there, which I can only assume is the other end of that vacuum line, and I think that goes to the oil pressure gauge. So someone has cut that. As I've been cranking the engine, I've been cranking and cranking, and it's just blasted oil through the pressure gauge pipe and onto the floor. So before I do anything else now, I've got to go a length of this pipe here, which needs to go back down to the back of the engine. This car is great. There is wet oil all over the bulkhead where it's been squirting a minute ago. But it's no mystery that this car was vandalised and lines have been cut, wires have been cut. That's been a long documented thing of this project. But what is a mystery is why it hasn't done this before. I haven't changed the oil in the car. I'm a bit baffled by that, but I can't do any more cranking on it until I've fixed that pipe. Well, that was all about a week and a half ago now, and since then I've been trying to find a new one of these and a new one of those pipes in the engine bay. I went to my local motor factories. The best I could do was this, which is 10mm internal pipe, and there is no way that is going to go over that. That's basically the same size, but that might do to do a patch repair on the engine bay oil pressure pipe, because I've been spending the last week phoning people, emailing people, and getting a lot of sorry we don't or no reply at all. Luckily, I remembered Car Builder Solutions down in Staplehurst, and they do 15mm armoured, fabric coated, fuel safe pipe. I thought I was going to have to pay £25 for a metre of the stuff, but they're good guys down there and only charged me for 15 centimetres. So I can now bodge this. No, I can put this on there properly because I bought the correct stainless steel fittings and everything. There's no bodging going on here today. On the back of the car, I can try and, okay, this will be a bodge. I can try and Jubilee clip this over the missing gap until I can find an actual correct thing. It won't hold up to proper pressure if I'm driving the car anywhere, but just running the car on the drive in the unlikely event it actually starts, might just see us through. So this was frayed unbelievably badly. The rubber was just disintegrating inside there, which does worry me a bit as to what the rest of the car rubbers are going to be like once I get to them. But if I give this an extra centimetre or 2 centimetres to make up what I cut off trying to trim it down. Oh, yuck, there's disgusting stinking fuel running out of that now, which is, I'm going to say a good thing, but it's probably not really, is it? I should have checked this car up. Oh, why didn't I check the car up? Because I couldn't be bothered because it's cold. I'm lying and not on my soft mat anymore, and it hurts. And yuck! Ow! I need a bigger workshop. By bigger I mean actual workshop. Oh, come on, get in there. I'm so used to this being the old knackered, perished rubber that it just kind of falls into. This is actually quite hard work getting this into the one that properly fits. Doesn't help, my fingers are already numb after like 4 minutes out here. That's better, that's on there now. So I guess it's bigger on that regulator end than it is on the pump end. The fact that fuel dribbling out of the regulator suggests it's not clogged completely, which is a good thing. There we go. Job done. Oh, I've made a mistake there, I've lined up the wrong way around. These clips appear to be too small to go over. I need the next size up stainless clip. I'll have to go back to
car builder. Damn, I won't want to be push fit for today. I'll get some big neck size up of those. Now, pump's still connected. So, let's put some petrol in this and see what happens. First, I get all my fingers up on this mug. It's really, really cold. Yesterday it was Storm Deirdre and it was about 2 degrees or even lower, and the rain was going sideways. If I a quick brief interlude. All the electric windows work on this car, apart from this one, and so I did an emergency tape during the storm. And this is against the wall, so it shouldn't get water through here. This little rain flap allows water to come in. Sorry, not allow water to come in, and hopefully allow air to come out so the car can vent a bit and not steam up and go to mildew and horrible until I get around to fixing that window. In case you're wondering, yes, I have had a couple of Land Rovers in the past. An original Freelander, which is actually really good. It did blow a gasket though. And a classic Range Rover, which is excellent, but it did blow a gasket though. So this pipe, I believe, feeds the oil pressure gauge on the dashboard. It's the only thing I can think it can be. And it can only be cut for reasons of malice. I mean, why else would you do that? That's just an insane thing to do. This pipe is 10mm internal diameter. So it's a fraction too big, but with a couple of Jubilee clips on there, or sorry, off-brand Jubilee style clips, it will do the trick until I can find one, because I think it's going to have to be a used one from somewhere, so I'm going to have to find a car that's been broken and be able to explain to the person who's breaking it exactly what I want. And also, I want whatever the hell this thing is as well. I don't even know where that goes to. I didn't bring a screwdriver. Go press stop. Oh, my fingers are numb already. I don't know how much progress we'll get on this video today because it's so cold. It looks sunny, but it's actually really, really chilly. It said to be like 4 degrees, but it feels like -4 today. Yeah, it'll kind of do. It'll limit the mop-up operation, if nothing else. Or if I can get 9mm internal diameter, because that will be the trick. Oh. This is an interesting addition I've just found. I've never noticed this on the boot before, I don't know why. This looks like either a CB aerial or a flag carrier. Let's pop the boot and have a look on the other side. I don't see any wiring. I wonder if that's for a flag or something, or some kind of diplomatic ID. It's curious because one interesting thing on this car is a City of Westminster parking permit holder. So this was something in London doing something important, but I don't know what. Well, cleverly I managed to, oh gosh, I've probably over tightened this. It's frozen on, it's contracted in the cold, I filled on a warm day. I've used my only fuel tank, I've used my only fuel can, which doesn't have an actual filler, so I'm not sure how much of this will make it into the car. That's not going to screw on. This is something to file under things that are probably a bad idea. Now you're going to laugh at this. This one, this filler spout wouldn't screw onto this one either. So I've got another filler spout, identical one of these, and guess what? That fits on there quite happily. Ah, idiot. And also fits on there quite happily. Now the reason I'm doing this is twofold really, or threefold. Firstly, I want to flush off anything, all the crud in the tank, using that spare fuel pump. Secondly, when I turn the key, the fuel gauge is off the bottom and the amber light warning is on. And thirdly, someone did point out in the comments, have I even put any more fuel in the car? No, I hadn't, because I put 2 gallons in. Thank you.
Put it on the doorstep. It smells of petrol.
Yes, I'm putting petrol in the car.
You what?
Yeah, I'm using a petrol can.
Oh. Make sure you get set 5 in, please.
Try not to. Yeah, so to answer that comment about did I even put any fuel in the car, I haven't put any more in. I put 2 gallons in first of all, but they may well have just dripped out along the way, but I just didn't notice any puddles falling out. Wow, look at that. The puddle of petrol, we're pumping gas over the tyre. That means it's working, it's actually getting there. So if I put this cap back on the end and grab me a 17mm spanner. in business. You're looking at this piece here. Okay, bad news is it's not reaching the front because it's just pouring out the back here. What I forgot to do was put one of the washers back in here when I was reassembling this, which is a dumb thing to do. That's moving pretty loosely anyway though. What I thought I might do is, this seems to be pumping pretty clean petrol out now. I'm going to fit the new pump in. Stop messing around. Oh god, it's a lot of petrol. Oh, I'm glad I disconnected the battery. Okay, that's the spare pump. Let's move it out of the way. New pump. Let's get it on the pipe as quick as I can because we're losing fuel at a rapid rate of knots. Oh god damn. Get on there. Phew, right, okay, now then. Here you're lying under a car regretting every single thing you've done on the way to this point. Yeah, that's kind of where I am now. Right, washer in place now. Yes! Did you see that? That little kind of fountain of horrible brown gunge that was the old petrol gushing out of there, followed by some clean stuff, which means I can reconnect that pipe up. Right, let's see what happens now. Now I know there's fuel gushing down those lines. Is it hitting the spark plugs? Come on, car. Come on. Why aren't you going? I know there's fuel now. The new injectors, the new spark plugs. Come on, fire, damn you. Why aren't you going? Oh, it's so frustrating. Oh. Car, what's wrong with you? Oh, my oil fix didn't work. Oh my god, where's this coming from? Fuel lines just gushing petrol out under the car. Out of the exhaust, in fact. I don't know where that's coming out of. Brilliant. I don't know where that's coming out of. Not without getting under the car and the post left. Basically, all I've got now is a massive fire hazard. So, brilliant. That is as far as I'm going to go today because I've had enough of this game and more failures. So I'm going to disconnect the battery before the car blows up, and then have some lunch and think about getting this on a ramp later and working out what connection has come undone or what pipe has perished, because basically all it just seems is that as I'm fixing one thing, it's pushing the problem further down the line to another weak point. So, great. Oh good. Well, thanks for watching again. Next time the car definitely won't start because I'm going to have to do lots and lots of, I don't know, probing knackered bits of rubber piping, I guess. Have a great weekend and see you soon. Thanks for watching. Hit like and subscribe please, and if you want to help me buy some parts for this car to get it fixed, wander over to furiousdriving.co.uk and click on any of the links over to Amazon, and if you buy anything at all on Amazon, that tiny couple of penny kickback helps buy some bits for this old thing. Thank you. Bye bye.